yeah, thank you guys for coming to the Basics of Livestream workshop. My name's Alexandra Derderian. I've been working as a video editor and in public access for probably like 8 years now. Also an artist, and at the station I used to work at, I work with community members to create original programming and teach them how to use, Premiere, different editing software, stuff like that. I also write and produce a lot of my own films and live streams as well. I also help organize the Weird Local Film Festival in Somerville. So yeah, it's a little bit about me. And yeah, today we're going to talk about the wonders of live streaming. This is a little screenshot from a live stream show that I started over the pandemic. It's called Telepath Giraffe. It's a live call-in show where people call in and get advice from a little giraffe puppet. It's very much in the spirit of old public access where people used to have call-in shows and stuff like that. So through the process of producing and organizing the show over the pandemic, got into live streaming and seeing kind of how much power could be in the live streaming to create a whole production that used to be inaccessible beforehand because of how expensive things used to be. But now you can have your own basically TV station with your computer and just a couple small tools now. So there's a couple little behind the scenes. So we do it in like a full studio, but I mean, it looks big there, but it's very, very small. So we have, 3 small cameras like this, and I hide under that table under there, and then we have a couple computers that we have, the calls come through with just Google Voice, stuff like that. And yeah, so it is, it's a very fun. So I'll show you guys a little clip from that. And this is all made through laptop, a couple tools. We do have a multi-camera live streamer, live switcher, which we don't need, and then and then OBS, which we'll be talking about, which is a free program you can use to encode. So.
Show this to the turkey bones. Crunch the turkey bones. A little vessel really becomes more like a big jelly of bones.
The big jelly of bones and minerals.
Oh yeah, the big jelly of bones and minerals.
Kind of like what sumo wrestlers do.
Oh yeah. Those sumo wrestlers, they've learned a lot from Cruncho.
We're getting a call, Cruncho. Should I take it?
No, let's take it. Cruncho loves hearing calls. Oh yeah, you're right. How does a phone work? I've never used a telephone before in my life. I've got an agent to do that kind of stuff for me. Well, hello, Cruncho.
Hello, Cruncho. Oh, hey, Cruncho. Oh, wait. Hey, hello, Cruncho.
Hey, hi, how's it going, Cruncho? Here on the air with Telepath Giraffe.
I can hear my giraffe.
Hello.
Yeah, sure. What's on your mind today?
So I am thinking about buying a something from Craigslist tomorrow for $145, and I'm a little nervous. I was wondering, do you think I should try and haggle to lower the price? And what do you think the reasonable price is for a bicycle?
Okay, I actually just bought a bicycle online about 2 years ago, and that seems a little high. I would definitely haggle that. What do you think, Cruncho?
I think it's a little high, and if someone wants you to pay full price for a used bike you're gonna buy off Craigslist, I think you should go to their house and say, sure, I'll buy this bike for $45. And they said the price listed was $145, and you say, yeah, I said 45, and if they say no, you crunch their phone.
Yeah,
Thank you. Okay. That's great.
Yeah, you gotta be careful to make sure they don't crunch your balls, so don't call their bluff. They might crunch your block.
and I would actually recommend to bring someone with you to pick up the bike, someone that maybe could crunch bones in case something goes awry with the haggle.
So yeah, so that's a little bit of my show that plays on LTC too, so plays around. But yeah, so that is all live stream equipment. Literally the budget of the show is very small, and we don't use a lot of stuff for that. So, all right, cool. Let me see. click? Does that work when I can click? Oops. Okay, cool. So here's some of the kind of benefits of live streaming on YouTube. So YouTube is one of the most searched browser after Google. It is owned by Google. People are searching for anything and everything all the time, how-to videos, whatever. A lot of people just put YouTube on in the background as they're doing things. So it's an amazing way to just reach more people and to just be more visible online just through a basic free YouTube channel. You can connect with people from literally all over the world, all different kinds of countries, literally everywhere. You can have real-time interaction with people. You can interact with people through the chat, make people feel a part of the event even though they're not necessarily present. As you saw with the call-in show, people can call in, get advice, interact with people. So it's a great way to just, connect with your audience directly. And even though you can't physically be there. So ease, so everyone can stay at home. No one has to leave. You could watch a live stream at work and participate in it. You could, I wouldn't recommend doing it while you're driving, but you could. You could listen to it while you're driving. So you could do it from anywhere. The cost is way cheaper than running an in-person event. It's way cheaper than probably renting a full studio to do an event like that. It is very affordable, easy, just a couple tools. And it's really, you can scale it down as big or as small as you want. You can invest in better looking equipment, multi-camera live switchers or whatever. It's really whatever you want to put into it. And then it's fun. It's like having a TV studio in your house. It's the coolest thing ever. So, so here's a couple of the challenges of live streaming. So that I have noticed. Balancing the tech and performing at the same time can be a little bit of a challenge. Even with Telepath Giraffe, I've had to kind of hop off from under the thing from performing to, figure out audio issues, go on the computer. So that is a little tough. So it is, you can do it completely by yourself. People do it. I do have like a group of people that help me with the show just because of it's a puppet show, so it is a little hard. Audio issues are always a big issue with doing really anything with video production that can happen. Audio can cut out, things like that. Promotion of the show is always a struggle, just getting to people visible, seeing it. So it's always really important to promote your live stream just so people know it is happening. And even doing consistent live streams, it's always good to do that. And in the kind of in the spirit of all DIY, it's just like a very DIY thing. You have to do everything. The promotion, you're the marketing person, you write the stuff, you do the tech. So, but it's very rewarding as well to learn that stuff. And then, and just basically creating a compelling show, keeping it interesting for people so they want to come back and watch the next one. And then slow internet connection is a huge one. Internet issues. Oh no, the internet cut out. We lost the live stream. That is always a challenge.
Are you going to talk a little bit more about audio issues?
Sure. Yeah. So, for instance, like sometimes if you plug in. So we'll talk in a little bit like how to put in the different ways you could put your audio source in your computer. Sometimes like OBS will just drop out or something like that because we're going to talk about OBS, which is a free open source program. Sometimes it'll just drop out. You don't know whether it's the computer, whether it's the program, whether it's the microphone, whether it's the cable. And a real struggle is that you're live and you have to figure it out then. And it can be just a little stressful kind of troubleshooting in front of everybody. Like any live event, like, oh no, the PA exploded, something, but yeah, any kind of audio issues that can happen with stuff, especially with the call-in show. It'd be like, okay, we're not getting the caller that we can't. We can hear the caller here, but we're not getting the caller over the air. So we have to figure out why that's happening. It could be like several different things. Does that answer your question? Or,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and then slow computer. Sometimes OBS, because you're streaming and you're running, you know, you're running OBS, you're streaming from the same computer. You have to make sure that you have a, you know, a decent speed computer. You don't need like a crazy computer or anything to do this. But yeah, you want to make sure that your computer is, you don't have like a million things open. That can be a challenge of why something's lagging over the stream. So cool. So 6 basic elements of live streaming. So we got our camera. So you can use really any kind of camera to live stream. You can use you know, a camcorder like one of these they have here. You can buy a cheap, you know, Vixia recorder literally off of eBay, and they don't even have to look that good. It doesn't matter. You could buy one of those for really not that much money. You could use a DSLR. You could use a GoPro. It's really all about the look and how much money you want to spend. You need a HDMI cable or HDMI mini, depending on whatever output that your camera has. Then you'll need a tripod if you are going to use a camera, or a desk tripod, something to hold the camera up. Or you could just use your computer webcam, which is, people do that all the time. It's going to have the look of a computer webcam, but you can totally use that. And that is free with your laptop. So audio, talk about a couple options. So you can use a USB microphone, like the Yeti here. I have one of those. This is another version of a Yeti microphone. This is a Snowball. This just connects right into your computer with the USB cable. And a lot of podcasters, a lot of people use these kind of microphones, and they have like really good audio quality. So you can use one of those. You could use a lavalier like the one I'm wearing, or like a handheld. It's really all in your preference of what kind of show you are doing. But most importantly, you need, with a USB microphone, you don't need an interface, because how this works is that it converts this audio signal automatically, since this is made to use with a computer, so you don't need an interface. But if you're using any other kind of microphone, like say if you're using just a regular lavalier with like an XLR cable, something like that, you're going to need some kind of audio interface so your computer can recognize that signal. So you can, you know, use a really popular interface is the Focusrite. I have one of those. People get those for recording music, guitar straight into their computer, stuff like that. There are XLR to USB interfaces as well. You can just get on Amazon. It really depends on the microphone. But basically, you need something that will convert your signal so the computer recognizes it. Next is the capture card. So going off of what I just said with that recognizing that signal, you need a capture card if you are going to use any kind of video camera that's not your web camera, which it basically is going to convert that signal so your computer can recognize it. So this is a picture of the one I have. It's cheap. I think it was like $20 on Amazon. It's not really fast. You can spend anywhere up to like, you know, hundreds of dollars on a capture card. A lot of people who do gaming and stuff, they want a really fast capture card so they catch, you know, all the movement, stuff like that. I haven't had, these have worked great for me, and they're cheap. I've never had an issue with them. Yeah, and I said so. We use the capture card to capture the video input or image of one screen and output that video capture into your computer. So next is the Encoder software. So Encoder is a device that converts video files and takes that raw feed from the camera and transfer it into viewable content into your main live streaming station. So an Encoder software that we're going to talk about is OBS Studio. So OBS. Another one that you can use that is, you know, more simple, streamlined is StreamYard. A lot of people like that. That already has like graphics built into it. It's a little you can customize it, but you have to pay like 20 bucks a month. But you can pretty much just like put your logo in. If you don't want to, you know, learn OBS, that is like a perfectly fine option to use as well. Which I've used before. It is good, but obviously I don't mind learning some things and having it be free. So, and then light. So you definitely want to make sure you are well lit. And this is just kind of basic, video production stuff. A lot of people use, these basic ring lights. You could totally get a 3-point lighting kit, but you want to make sure that your set is lit so people can see you. And then, of course, if you're doing YouTube live streaming, you want a YouTube account. And you want to make sure that you have your YouTube account verified. So if you, promote a whole live stream, you've never done a live stream before, you have to have your account verified, which does take a couple days. So you have to make sure you go through YouTube, make your account, verify your account. Because sometimes if you just go in, make a YouTube and try to live stream, it's not going to let you do that. It has to do some 2-step processes, verify your account. So basically don't try to do a live stream without testing it and verifying your YouTube account first. So yeah, do this a couple days before you live stream because it sometimes takes a couple days for them to verify your account. And yeah, so as I said, you can be as stripped down or as advanced as you want with your live stream. So I'll talk about a couple of the advanced tools. This is, if you want to do a multi-camera live stream, you'll need a video switcher. So I know Ed talked about, is this the one you have, the Atom Mini? So a lot of people really, really love that. It is really not that expensive at all, but you can put multiple cameras in and basically have your own little studio. You'll need more than one camera, 2 to 3 cameras if you do want to do a multi-camera live stream. You'll need microphones with your audio interface if you're going to use multiple microphones, interview someone, stuff like that. You're going to need audio capture software if you do want to, say, have someone call in on Zoom or something like that. For like my show, we're capturing audio from Google Voice with our calls. We've also have, interviews, people call in on Zoom. You're going to need an audio capture software. And Source Nexus is one that is great for Mac. There's virtual audio cable. And basically what that does is just captures the entire sound of what's going on in your computer. Or you can basically select your like your Zoom input as your as like an input for Zoom, so it can pull that audio from Zoom or wherever you're gonna get your audio from. And then a second monitor. I really recommend this for really kind of not even people that are advanced, but like if you have a second monitor, you can put, say if you're going to have a Zoom caller and you're going to share that, that you obviously want to share that image, you're going to want to have a second monitor, share that, and then do all your tech on the other computer. So yeah, I highly recommend second monitor, especially if you are going to do Zoom callers. I mean, you kind of have to if you have the Zoom callers, but yeah. Couple live streaming tips. Always, so would always if possible, but I would say always make sure you connect to the internet with an Ethernet cable. The Wi-Fi can drop out any minute. If your Wi-Fi drops out, the stream's done. People are like, what happened? So it's always best to just have a hard wire in just to avoid issues and slow connection. So always test your setup and equipment. Always test it the day of, the day before, way before you're doing your live stream, because you don't want to just wing it the day of, because as I said, a million things can go wrong. And even if you test it, things can go wrong, but at least you'll be like, I tested it and it did work. Schedule and promote your live stream in advance. You could totally, randomly go live whenever you want for sure. But if you're, you're going to do like a planned out show, just make sure to, post about it on social media. You can really post about it anywhere. You can even use like Eventbrite now to promote your live streams. You can promote it just like you promote any other event. And then after the live stream, it's always good to just cut highlights of the live stream to keep interest about your live stream. People are like, oh, that was interesting, that was funny, I want to tune in for the next one, and post that just to keep people interested. And then, yeah, it's always fun to decorate your set, get a backdrop, cute fake plants, and just have fun with it. And as I said, it's your own TV studio. It's whatever you want to do with it. And yeah, interact with your viewers through the chat. People love being a part of the show. You know, there are you can even be like, oh, we got a question from blank in the chat. Giraffe lover 422 has a question, and then you can just interact with them. And people really like that, and people want to come back and watch your stream if you're interacting with them. It makes them feel, important and just a part of it. And then, a really cool part about live streaming is you can book guests from anywhere. You could book a celebrity if you wanted to, and they have no excuse because you can do it on Zoom. And you can collab with anybody through live streaming, and you can have anyone you want. And I would recommend against using copyrighted music. YouTube has a thing where it can detect sometimes copyrighted music, and it'll just take your live stream off, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm pretty sure it happened to me in my last stream because our thing just cut out, and I'm not really sure. We were playing Everybody Dance Now karaoke, and it just stopped. So I don't know what happened. But and I've seen it happen to other people's live streams. They just can get cut off. I mean, you can take the risk. Sometimes it's fine, but just something to be mindful of. So cool. So that's the end of my presentation. I can show you guys OBS, and I'll show you a little bit about OBS.